Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, welcome. My name is Hannah, and on this channel we talk all things home decor, home aesthetics, mixing high and low with new and old. And in today's video, we're gonna take 5 essential home decor items and style them 5 different ways. So if this is something you are interested in watching, please feel free to keep watching. If you haven't already, I would also love if you would like, comment, and subscribe. You know to hit that bell button so you never miss a video. And if you want some daily inspiration, feel free to follow me on Instagram at Hannah Naylor. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Now, if you are just clicking on this video, I did this same concept last month and I was shocked by the response rate. You guys seem to really enjoy this video and I thought, you know what? Let's get back to the drawing board and put together 5 more essential home decor items, style them 5 different ways so that way you guys can have some ideas in your back pocket when it comes to your own space. Now, I feel we are all guilty of feeling like we have to go out and buy new stuff because our houses feel maybe stale, maybe they feel boring. But simply taking one item and doing it different ways will make your space feel that much better so we can prevent having to go out and buy more things when really all we have to do is move things around. But without further ado, let's get into this video. The first home decor essential item is artwork. I definitely feel like artwork is becoming a lot more popular. We are definitely utilizing it in a lot of different ways. So the first way on styling your artwork is simply putting it in your kitchen against your backsplash. We are kind of almost replacing cutting boards and bringing in artwork as a way to bring more visual interest, to bring color, something more visually appealing. For my situation, I have an all-white kitchen. It's stark, it's blah, and so simply bringing in artwork really does change the look and feel of my kitchen entirely. So don't be afraid to bring a beautiful piece of artwork to your kitchen backsplash. The way you display your picture is really becoming popular as well. We have easels and picture stands that are flooding the market on ways to style your pictures, your artwork, and so simply utilizing a picture stand or an easel is really going to elevate that look. By simply putting it on a stand, putting it on an easel is just not only going to add another layer to your style, but it's going to bring more visual appeal and interest to any vignette that you put together when it comes to utilizing a piece of artwork. So simply a picture stand or an easel is another really great way on styling your artwork. Playing off of the concept that we already discussed regarding your backsplash, simply having your artwork just leaned up against a wall is a really easy thing to do. Say you don't have an easel, maybe you don't have a picture stand. Bringing an artwork piece just leaned up against the wall for a specific vignette is a very simple thing to do. Doesn't require any extra element, does not require any extra decor. So don't be afraid to just lean your artwork up against a wall in any style. Styling your artwork on your wall, exactly what we end up buying these for. And artwork is really fun because you can style it in a variety of different ways when it comes to hanging. Based on its orientation, maybe you have 2 of the same artwork paired right on top of each other. Maybe you have a small piece of artwork with a larger one underneath of it. Maybe you have a collage. This is where that kind of uniqueness comes in, that creativity and that originality of each person is going to really shine through. It's not all about just hanging one piece of artwork on a wall now. People are really getting creative. Some people have really small pieces of artwork, some people have really big ones. So definitely bring in artwork to any dead space, the best way to style your artwork. All right, and the last and final way on styling a piece of artwork, simply having it layered with another piece of artwork. This makes for a really interesting style. You can do it multiple ways. You can have, maybe a vertical orientation layered with a horizontal orientation. You can have a black and white image paired with a colored image. This is where this kind of unique styling is going to take place. This is when our homes are not going to be so cookie cutter. So don't be afraid to maybe layer 2 different pieces of artwork for an interesting style. The next essential home decor item is a decorative bowl. Bowls are so universal, they're so versatile when it comes to styling our spaces, and the very first way on styling a decorative bowl is utilizing it as a pinch dish. You guys will see in my example, I have a beautiful marble ruffle bowl that I transformed into my salt pinch dish next to my stove. Now here on my channel, I'm constantly trying to think of outside the box thinking. What can I do differently? How can I take a simple item and turn it into something different or utilizing it for something different? And I really was pleased when I thought, you know what if I took a beautiful dish and made it into a functional item, which is my salt dish. So maybe if you do come across a really cool decorative bowl, don't be afraid to maybe bring it into your kitchen and utilize it as a salt dish. Decorative bowls can not only be beautiful, but they can be functional as well. And that is for our remote controls. Unfortunately, yes, they are eyesores and they're not going to be the best thing to look at, but why not make something that is a functional item that we do use on a daily basis and have it in a decorative, beautiful item, which is our bowls. So I brought a beautiful bowl to my coffee table to have my remotes in there. Again, this is where you can get creative. Find different bowls that maybe represent your style or what you are into. You can bring in different texture, whether that maybe is a wicker basket bowl or maybe a marble bowl, a vintage item. There's endless possibilities, but there is definitely a way to bring something that is a functional item like our remote controls and making it beautiful by bringing in a decorative bowl. The next way on styling a decorative bowl is bringing it to our bathroom. I think this is definitely an area that gets overlooked. You know, bathrooms aren't meant to be, pretty. I definitely think it is an area that we can make pretty or we can make beautiful. So simply bringing a decorative bowl and maybe having a beautiful soap in there is a great way to have it housed next to your sink instead of it just being in like an ugly soap container. I think this is a really simple thing to do. Simply bringing in a beautiful soap in a decorative bowl next to your sink is a really great way on styling bowls. Now, a decorative bowl doesn't necessarily need to be for anything. You can have a bowl just as it is. Maybe you have it on top of a stack of coffee table books or just simply styled alone. Sometimes decorative items need to be a standalone moment and we don't always need to have things with them. I touched on this in my last video when it came to vases. We don't always need stems in a vase in order for it to feel beautiful or complete. Maybe having it housed on top of a coffee table book or by itself on a sideboard makes for a really beautiful style, so don't be afraid to leave it as is. And the last way for styling a decorative bowl is bringing in some bowl filler. Whatever you are into, you guys will see in my example, I brought some really fun dried artichokes to kind of represent this spring and summer season. You can bring in seasonal items, or if you are one that really enjoys potpourri, whatever you are into. Obviously a bowl is there for its intended use to house something, so get creative on what you would like to pair in your bowl. So use your decorative bowls as a way to have some bowl filler. This next item is not necessarily an essential home decor item, but I definitely think it is an item that gets overlooked. A lot of people sleep on them, and that is cloches. Cloches are so cool to style with, and I have been utilizing them all throughout my home in all the seasons. The first way to style a cloche is simply having a candle underneath of it. Now this is going to be different from my last video where I actually had a candle cloche that had a hole at the top so you could burn it. This is simply going to be for decor purposes only, or when the candle is not in use. This is just a really elevated style. It's a very elevated look. Having your candle underneath, it's essentially like your butter in its butter dish. It's like its own entity. It's like its little shrine. Having your candle underneath the cloche is just going to add another layer to any style. Now, if you have a coffee bar area, I did do this idea back around, I think it was Christmas time. I have 2 coffee mugs that I have a cloche on top of it. It just adds another little layer. It's interesting, it's different. You don't see it all the time. It's not your traditional, coffee mug holder or rack that people put all their coffee mugs on. This is just another thing to just add to this area for something a little bit unexpected and different. And I'm here for it. It definitely elevated my coffee bar area. So if you are one that loves having coffee, if you are a coffee or tea drinker, think about possibly utilizing a cloche to house your coffee mug. If you are one that has open shelving in your kitchen, this next idea is going to be for you. Now again, this is out of the box thinking. I thought this would be really fun for anybody that has open shelving in your kitchen. I put together a look where I have a cloche with a bunch of wooden spoons underneath of it. I have my cooking books, a couple of cutting boards. So this was a really cool concept that I kind of thought of that I thought would be really cool and interesting for anybody that has kitchen essentials for their kitchen. So utilizing a cloche to house your wooden spoons is going to make for a really cool style. Now, a cloche's intended purpose is to house anything and everything you want underneath of it. Whether that is maybe an heirloom that you have of your grandmother's, maybe it is Easter time and you want to put a decorative bunny figurine underneath of it, or a faux plant. The cloche is endless. You can put whatever you want, whatever resonates with you, whatever you are into, you can put underneath the cloche to add just another layer to any style. So utilizing a cloche for a decorative item is the 4th item on this list. The last way on styling a cloche is putting seasonal items underneath your cloche is a really fun and interesting way. I really used this during the fall and winter months. I did, you guys will see in my example, I had snakes for Halloween. I put pomegranates underneath it. I did cinnamon sticks. I did pine cones during the winter time. So bringing some seasonal elements underneath your cloche during those times of the year make for a really fun and interesting style. So that is the last way on styling a cloche, 5 different ways. The next next essential home decor item is a little miniature stool. Now, stools can be sold at Target, at Home Goods. My example is a little mini vintage stool that I got at an antique shop here in San Diego, but utilizing a stool makes for a really fun and interesting home decor element to any person's style. So the first way I'm utilizing one is using it as a bookend. I touched on this in my open shelving. You don't necessarily need bookends in order to style your books, your coffee table books. I used my little stool as a way to prop my books up and use them as a bookend. So don't be afraid to utilize your miniature stool as a bookend. I love elevating my candles. I love bringing layer to my candles. And so utilizing a miniature stool as a candle riser is a really cool way. Anytime we can bring some height and some different style makes for something that looks a little bit more visually interesting to look at. So within my example, I have my miniature stool with a candle on top, and it just adds another little layer to my style. So don't be afraid to use your stool as a candle riser. Heading back to the bathroom, you can utilize a stool as a way to house your soap dispenser. You guys will see in my example, I even placed little hand towels underneath the stool, bringing in again more height. We can never go wrong with having too much height or different height variations when it comes to styling these different areas throughout our home. So bringing a really fun little stool to a bathroom will make for a very visually interesting look. Like everything, sometimes a miniature stool doesn't need to have anything else along with it. So if you have maybe coffee table books or a style that just needs a little bit of extra visual interest or open shelving, don't be afraid to have your stool styled as is, all alone, as a standalone moment. So again, don't be afraid to just leave it alone and let it have its moment to shine. The last and final way on styling a miniature stool is utilizing it as a plant stand. I brought mine to my kitchen and I had it as a way to house some fresh rosemary, as a way to kind of cut off some clippings when I'm cooking. And this makes it a really fun little style. You're having, again, different heights. It adds another layer to my kitchen. It breaks up a really stark surface, which is my white backsplash against my white cabinetry. So this is just gonna add more visual interest to a spot that just sometimes doesn't have a lot going on. So utilizing your little miniature stool as a way to house some fun plants or some herbs. The last and final essential home decor item for this video is a room home diffuser. Now, some people prefer not to have candles burning in their home, so they will have diffusers. Now, diffusers can make for a beautiful style as well, so we're gonna get right into how we can style them. The first is having it on a tray. I think trays are really great because they ground a space, whether that is for a candle or not. Having your home diffuser on there is really going to make for a beautiful style. So you can have your home diffuser, maybe with your essential oils and any other little aspects that you have on a sideboard, on a side table, whatever it might be. Having your room diffuser on a tray will make for a really beautiful and grounded look. Whenever we can utilize a riser, I always push you guys to do so because, again, I'm gonna go blue in the face, but bringing in height to any style just adds more visual interest. It's going to bring your eyes up and down, and that's exactly what we're gonna do with our room diffuser. Having that on top of a riser with maybe two other elements and creating a style around that is going to make for a really fun look. Now, sometimes you can pair your diffuser with maybe a faux plant and maybe another decorative item. It can be just as much a part of that style as any other home decor element, so don't be afraid to put it onto a riser and style it along with the other elements. The next way on styling a diffuser is having it paired with a really fun little dish of essential oils. Obviously, it is essential to have the oils with your diffuser, so why not make it a beautiful look? So in my example, I have my diffuser on my nightstand paired with a couple of other home decor elements, but I have a little dish next to it with the essential oils that go with it. So having a really fun dish to play off of your diffuser will make for a really beautiful style. The next way on styling a room diffuser is simply having it on top of some coffee table books. Maybe you are one that likes to have it front and center and out for everybody to see. Simply just having that diffuser on top of your coffee table books front and center for everybody to see is a really simple and easy thing to do as well. Now, the last and final way on styling your diffuser is for those who possibly just don't want to have it out in the open. You know, sometimes a lot of people try to camouflage their diffusers. Maybe they don't want it to be a part of a style, and that's totally okay. In my example, I simply have my larger room diffuser styled behind a vase with my stems. So it kind of camouflages that it's back there, but it is there on and being able to still make my home smell really nice. So if you are one that doesn't want to have your diffuser actually showcased, simply camouflaging it behind other elements like a vase, maybe even a cooking book stand, maybe it's in your kitchen, having your cooking book open and having your diffuser behind it. So you're still getting that smell, but it's not essentially out in the open for everybody to see. So that is the last and final way to style 5 different home decor items 5 different ways. All right, you guys, and that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed coming along for this part 2 of 5 different home decor items styled 5 different ways. If you are wanting me to do this more, if you want to see maybe a couple of other different elements, sound off in the comments down below what the next items I should style. And until next time, I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.